Reverend Isabelle,
Yes.
would you like to open us in prayer today?
Oh, sure. Eho mai, eho mai, eho mai. Grandmother Moon, I see you shining in the east. We are grateful. Grandmother Moon, I see you setting. I see you setting in the west. We are grateful. Grandmother Moon, I see you shining in the south. We are grateful. Grandmother Moon, we see you shining towards the north. We are grateful. Grandmother Moon, I see you shining in the earth. We are grateful. Grandmother Moon, we see you shining in the sky. We are grateful. We are grateful. Thank you for looking upon us. We pray to you, pray to you, pray to you. We are grateful. Eho mai, eho mai, eho mai. Amen. And so it is.
And
So
so,
it is.
yes. As I bring myself back into the room,
Uh-huh.
thank you, thank you, thank you for that
Oh,
beautiful prayer to
thank you.
open
You're
us up.
welcome. It's an honor.
Yes, yes. Well, today is an honor as well, and has been no exception. You are no exception to the rule of the magnificence that we have had this entire 30 days um, for 30 days of love. And today is day 29 of 30 days of love, and we have the honor and the privilege of having Reverend Isabelle Guzman-Stark Kamahina, and as her new wonderful name. She is a shaman, a Reiki master, a teacher, a mystic. And if you just listen to that opening prayer, you know why. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. We are so thankful to have you with us today. Just a little bit of housekeeping. Uh, this, like I said, it's day 29, so we just have one more day of live messages for 30 Days of Love. But we have so many. We have plenty of recorded messages for you, the participants, to listen to and to join in and share your energy with every presenter that has shared something these last 30 days. Because time is not, uh, time doesn't count. Let's put it that way.
Hmm.
Time is not a factor in the miracle that love has in store for us. and what love can do. Love goes across all time, space, and dimensions. You've heard me say this over and over again, but it's true. So whenever you set the intention to send the love to these different groups, these whomever the presenter has asked you to send love to, and you actually do what the presenter asks you to do, you are lending your energy to create the miracles that we're seeing happening around us every day. And Reverend Isabelle will share to whom she is sending love, why, and her special expression of love. And afterwards, she will open up the bridge for us to add, ask, or share. And toward the end, I will share with you a keyword which comes from this message from Reverend Isabelle. Did I say something else? I apologize. Reverend Isabelle. And that keyword is for you to share with us toward the end of the month all the keywords so that you get your special free gift for participating in this love marathon. You love lights, everyone that's participating, we thank you. We thank you for your energy. We feel you. Even though we may not hear you, we know that you're there. So thank you for lending your energy to us and to the world. Okay. And I turn it over to Reverend Isabelle Guzman-Stark.
Well, thank you, Lisa, and it's a great honor to be part of the program that you're doing right now. I'm very, very grateful that you and Siobhan are doing a wonderful, wonderful work for humanity, for us, and for all light workers who are able to share their message. It is an honor, a great honor. Well, my topic, like you see, sending love to the things we don't talk about. Money, sexuality in the womb. And one of the things you asked me, what was the meaning of love to me? And the only way that I could put what love is to me is a Hawaiian word called aloha. Part of my uh, metaphysical background, let's say, or my spiritual background, I really enjoy the Hawaiian culture. And aloha is a word that has many meanings. And I'm going to break it down for all of you. A-L-O, alo, it means to be present, to join, to connect with. And ha means breath of life, God and spirit. Aloha is a word that is used for greeting, but besides saying a hello and goodbye, is being aligned with God, is a state of being, is a state of mind, is sharing compassion, wholeness, to be presence, to bring awareness. It is remembering our ancestors and to share their message and their love and their gratitude, but also it's a connection with the earth, with the animals, with the universe, with the moon, with the sun. It's also about responsibility, is the responsibility we have to take care of one another, to nature. It is also passion. Passion is the force behind everything. It is about connecting with not only with our families but also with our neighbors, with our friends. And one word that I use in love, in aloha, that I really like is interdependence. And based on that word aloha for love, I want to bring love, to these three issues: money, sexuality, and the wound. I have found that through my life and uh, my experience through as a ministry, that these things we carry a lot of emotions behind sexuality and money and the wound. And I'm going to start first with money. Money has a lot of emotions, and money is we don't we think automatically about money every time we want to purchase something, every time we are going to make a transaction, if it's or buys, besides buying something, but also about debt. Money involves relationships. And, sometimes I ask people, or even on myself, is how many times do we think about money? We think about money every day, constantly. Every time you take the metro, every time you buy a cup of coffee, it is so conditioned that consciously we do not stop for a moment. We just do it automatically. But then also, we don't like to talk about it. What I mean not like to talk about it is we talk about it when we're happy and we have a lot of money in the bank. And then when we had debt with somebody or with a credit card or with the IRS, then all that fear comes up, and the feelings of shame and pain and guilt are behind our backs, and say, well, what am I doing? And so why money is not flowing, even though we know that money is prosperity, then we know that money transcends and transforms, but also what are ethics about money? Money is something that, we have to study. And what I advise to others, read a little bit about how money was created and how ended up how it is right now. In ancient times, money, it was, and it still is, it's a medium of exchange, it's energy. And it is a medium of exchange. Why we carry so much emotions of it involves a little bit about what we learn in school, what we learn from society, what our parents taught us about money, and what our great-grandparents and beyond, what message was transmitted. So in ancient times, the money, it was a mean of trading, of barter. It was a mean of changing grains for changing sugar, or changing grains or beans for cows, or things like that, until the coin was created, the bill was created, and now what we have right now is credit cards, and it's becoming more and more digital. And also money, we think that it has so much value that we don't, but what is the value that you put in your money, what you put in your wallet, what you handle that dollar bill and give it to the person for the item that you want to exchange. So when I talk about money ethics, money can unite us, but also money can separate us. So let me go back to the money ethics is, what do you believe our money is? If this money, this purchase, this exchange, let's call it like that, is going to provide a change of consciousness or help to the other person, to the other side. Is it going to help humanity? Is it going to help the community? Is it going to help the economy? Yes, it's going to help the economy, but in what level is going to help the economy? Right now, as we're starting to see in the holidays right now, and on all the great sales that we see on TV, and bombarded with so much information of the sales, what triggers in your brain when you see a sale or rebate or 50% off? What is behind that? What is the impulse? Because what happens is we're very emotional, and the condition behind in our brains triggers that point. The sale, am I going to that for what reason? So we're starting to calculate, yeah, I can save money, but what is behind that? And that's what I want to get into the root of the problem. What are your ethics? Do you know where the money is going to go to? When we started to think more about your ethic and your state of mind and your state of being, then we started to understand, let's say, do you criticize your money? Let me give an example. When we want to buy or purchase an item that is not on sale, well, we right there we criticize it. Well, it's too expensive. I can't afford it. I'll wait for later. We're starting to put limitations. You say, well, if we know that money is prosperity, if we know money circulates everywhere around us, why do I want to criticize it? Why do I want to judge it? Why do I want to make it feel that it's not part of me, because it is part of me, and it's also is part of God. We think that money is not part of God. It is part of God because it's a medium of exchange.
Yes.
In ancient times, money was seen like that. When you started to change the grains and the coins, and that was part of nature,
Mm-hmm.
and it's sacred. But through centuries, we have been able to change that value and respect for money. And it's not the magic, like I said, it's the magic tool. It depends, it's in the hand of the beholder.
Ah.
It's right there. We always say in the eye of the beholder, it's in the hand of the beholder. But now we have the credit card, debit card, or the Bitcoin, that's where we move into more digital. Money is starting to become plastic instead of a piece of paper or the coin. So, what, do you criticize yourself every time you do it? And every time you criticizing you.
Mm-hmm.
When you're starting to say, well, I can't afford it, instead of maybe change the language about it. You say, well, how can I afford it?
Right.
If we have that principle that money circulates and makes it a better world, how can I afford it and help that other person in the other side, but also understand where the money goes to?
Mm-hmm.
Money is a very broad topic. And when we talk about debt, when we talk about that is very, very emotional, because right there, it's like the universe is testing you.
Mm-hmm.
Are you worried? We become anxious about money, then become sick and worry about money all the time. And if you start repeating the mode of money, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough money, it's too expensive, then you're starting to put, limitations on yourself. Anxiety is starting to rise, stress is starting to rise, then your state of being is starting to be affected. And I find that when we talk about money, we have to say it with compassion, especially with compassion to yourself, and understanding and trusting that everything is going to be okay. And when you trust yourself, when you talk about it more, then the flow of money, and I believe that when you're more comfortable talking about it, the more easier the flow will come, because money is an exchange. That is how sexuality is. Sexuality is also an exchange of energy in a different term, in a different way, but it's also an exchange. Money and sexuality and the wound, they're all kind of related, because the wound is also about relationship. It's our relationships to the money, and also a relationship with our sexuality.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about sexuality, I was saying, I want to send love to sexuality, because sexuality also needs healing. Sexuality helps us to connect with one another in an intimate way, and then a more intimate way. The universe was created through a connection of both. You needed a yin and a yang to make things.
Yes.
We're starting to feel that male is the yin, and the yang, sorry, and the female is the yin, but we are the yin and the yang connected in both. We're not separate. So if we started to bring the principle that we are all united, that we all separate, that we all can create harmony and healing through money, and also a sexuality, that we can create a better world. So what happened a part in the sexuality? Women, this my specialty is about women's energy and the wound of a woman. So sexuality is a form that women are more, is the role of a woman, let's say that. And why is that? Women through centuries have, especially, I don't want to say all of them, but, people who has a very strong religious background, they're Christian, or, or Jewish, whatever it is, we always give the role to the men. The
Yes.
men are in charge of our money, the men are in charge for the sexuality, the men are in charge of everything, and the women have the role of the house and the kids. Yeah, you go to work and come back, and yes, but it's not about men and women. Right now we are in the consciousness that we need both equally the same. It doesn't mean that the woman is going to become the man, because I think that's what I started to see in the business world. You know, we have this competition that we had to compete with men. I said, no, of course, we want to be recognized for our skills and for our talents, because we're very talented. We are more talented and we have more power, impact in the world than we think. But what happens to us that when we give the role to the man to be in charge of that, then we forget our role.
Mm-hmm.
You know, women, yeah, they have, you know, the gift of compassion, the gift of sharing, of creating, of caring, but we are also, you know, we can make very smart decisions with money, but the role is, what is money to you? What does it mean to you? Is the money the root of all evil, or is the money the root of all happiness? And that it was, you know, the question comes. So what I was talking before, women have been degraded and devalued to think that women are not enough,
Mm-hmm.
that women do not make smart choices with money, that women do not value, you know, they're not, you know, we're starting to see that now, and that is changing, that women can make, if we're very wonderful business, we can make great businesses like men do, because we use our intuition and our logic. We have, you know, through society and humanity have make us feel that sexuality is wrong. The sexuality lives in our wound, and through the wound we're able to value ourselves. And when we go through value, that's where I put money and I put sexuality, because both are together. Sexuality, you know, it's not talk about, you know, no, maybe through, you know, our parents sometimes they don't taught us what sexuality is, because they didn't know. They only saw what they thought was right. And money is the same way. You know, we tend just to save, or we just tend to, do we invest our money? How do we invest our money? Nobody taught us how to invest our money properly. We just go put it in the bank, you know, go to work and get paid, but how we can multiply that money. So in the part of the sexuality, let me go back to it. The sexuality is neurological, also physiological, and it's the energy exchange you're giving and receiving. So when a man and the woman, or if the partner is a woman, it can has the role of the man. In that moment, that is the moment that we become God. And what I bring the issue of God, because we think that sexuality is not part of God, and
Mm-hmm.
it is God.
Yes, it
When
is.
we are connected into that moment, our logical brain, you know, we kind of switch the light. We go into the logical form into a more intuitive, meditative mode. Our body opens up to the heavens, and what I mean opens up to the heavens is all our uh, or over part of our body opens up, you know, our heart rates speeds up, our body becomes more sensitive, our skin becomes more tender, and we open to receive. And also the male position is, you know, or the male role is able to give us. But what happens with the difference between these two is that sometimes we give the male, you know, we give that's called the leadership to the male to take it over our sexuality. And we have to, in that moment, we have to understand are the male brain and the female brain. The male brain is more logical. It goes to a focal point in what I call, they want to go to the hot run, you know, hit run. You know, they want to go to the goal. They want to, you know, they know what they want. But
Right,
on the
right.
woman, and the woman, you know, we
Mm-hmm.
want to be more meditated. We want to feel the goddess that we are.
Mm-hmm.
So when the man wants to go to the hit and run, you know, already done, we don't, you know, it doesn't give us the time for us to enjoy and to be in the meditative state, to be with the God within myself or the goddess within myself.
Mm-hmm.
So women have the role to lead the sexual relationship. But, you know, that's something that we learn. And before we start to do that, then we had to study, what is my sexuality? What sexuality really means to me? Do I have shame? Is it shameful? Is it painful to talk about it? Because, and that's when I'm going to go back, going now to the wound. The wound is a sacred center. where, based on the chakra system, it rules two things. It rules relationship, it rules money, value, and it rules also sexuality, birth, rebirth, and transformation. But in the womb is where we allow ourselves to be a woman. And what is really the womb? The womb is a cavity. It's like a cave where the woman holds their deepest secrets. And I'm going to talk about more into the female point of view than the male point of view, because I specialize more in the female. It is when we hold intimacy. It is when we hold our memory over all relationships, not the relationship that you have right now, or is where our deepest secrets are our sexual partners that we have in the past. All the memory is still there. It is in the womb we experience transformation. We experience also a menstrual cycle. And talking about the menstrual cycle, I had to say something. It has a lot of criticism about the menstrual cycle. We criticize it. We get annoyed with it. We don't value or respect it because nobody taught us, and that's something that we need to work on. But that's another level. In our womb, we create, we transform, we connect with the goddess and the woman that I am. So everything starts in the womb. But also in the womb, we hold our frustrations, we hold our pain, we hold our guilt, and we hold hurt. Because, the womb is very sensitive, but it's also very sacred. And women now, we have to learn how to take care of our wombs. The womb is what gives birth to all our creation. It is the baby, but also the creation of your projects, the manifestation of your ideas. So when we have the womb in a state of frustration and pain and shame, then the energy doesn't flow. And I see that even with my own personal experience, because I have found that I have so many ideas, but I have hard time giving birth to them. And then after I kind of learned to heal myself, let's say, and to work with my own wound, then I was able to understand, wow, I've been waiting for this magnificent gift of the universe to teach me and provide me the opportunity to share my gift and my talents and my desires and my creativity. And it was always there. It wasn't, but I nobody, the womb was unconscious. And women, we have to start being conscious of our womb. And when we start conscious of our womb, we start conscious of our value as a woman. And then we started to understand, our relationship with money and our relationship with my sexuality. And, God started talking to us. Then I feel that through the womb, we can help to heal the world, because that's what the womb is. It's about sexuality. It's about exchanges. It's about my inner connection with my partner, but also my connection with the world. So, and, and behind all that, what I said before, aloha is about sharing. And when we share, when we connect, when we give and receive, that's what the wound is about, giving and receiving. The wound, even as money, is also giving and receiving. Sexuality is about giving and receiving. It's creation. It's the mode of exchange. It is God. It is manifestation. It is transformation. It is interdependence, because our world depends for one another. We have been taught to be self-sufficient. It is great to be self-sufficient, but not to be separate. Do not be separate, because when we're separate, we create division. And when we create division, we cannot help to heal the world and heal the consciousness that it needs to be taught, let's say, to each individual, each human being, each child. Through, I believe, for me, my experience is through the wound we can help to heal the world. But it's not just the wound. It's the wound, the mind, because the mind is part of God, is also my heart. When we have these three things aligned, the mind, the heart, and the wound, then we can give birth to our desires, a birth, to a better world, and also to create harmony. We can create aloha. That is what I want to share with all of you.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. Uh,
I know it was a lot. These topics are very intense. They are very, very intense. And I was trying to put it all together in
but
20 minutes.
it's wonderful though.
But
This is the eye opening of the connection because I never would have made the connection, and you just tied it all in together for us. Um,
oh, great. Mm-hmm.
is there a prayer or a chant or something that you wanted to share to help us heal the womb?
Yes, I do. I have, I was, this is a little exercise, it's a little meditation. It's only for a minute or two that I would like women to kind of connect with. So let's close our eyes and place your hands in each side of your wound and invite the energy of God, Goddess, and all that is, or whatever meaning of God or God is for you. And as you breathe in, I want you to exhale with a ha. That's the aloha of the wind's breath. So you take a deep breath. And you exhale through your mouth. We do it again. And one more time. Dear wound, I thank you that you live in me. And also for women who had a hysterectomy, just be aware that even though your hysterectomy, your physical wound is not present, know that the energy of the wound is still there. So just bring your awareness to that. Thank you for your energy. Thank you to be in the center of my body, to help me to understand your consciousness, your wisdom, and your light. I am grateful and I love you because through you I learned, through you I discover, and through you I create. I am sorry. I am sorry that I punched you. I am sorry that I hurt you. I am sorry that I scarred you. I am sorry that I removed you from my body. I am sorry that others took advantage of you. I'm sorry that I fed you with thoughts that were not for my highest good. Please forgive me. But now I am aware of your presence. And I am open and I give myself permission to acknowledge you. Now I can heal my past. And together we can transform, we can change. I know it might not be easy, but I welcome you. And let's heal together our shame, our guilt, our hurt, our pain. And let's transform those energies into love and fulfillment. And we take a deep breath. Aho, amen, and so it is. And you may open your eyes. So I think with this short prayer and meditation, this will be a beginning of something new. And, the initiation for discovering.
Yes. It's so very powerful, so very powerful. And before we open up the bridge, I just wanted to share the key word that came out for me out of this session. And it's very obvious. It's aloha, to be present for the breath of God, the breath of life, God, and spirit. I think that's beautiful, just so beautiful. So the key word for today is aloha. And can we open up the bridge now?
Sure. That's fine.
Okay. So if anyone would like to add, ask, or share, I am opening up the bridge. And the bridge is now open.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, well, this is Siobhan. I have something I would like to share.
Oh, sure. Okay.
I just wanted to thank you so much for bringing the goddess full blast, live and direct to the call this morning. I still feel it resonating, through the core of my being. So I'm so thankful for you, and just the content and the quality of the content that you shared is just so keen and on point. And I'm so thankful because there's so many women who are really beginning to tap into the beginnings of who they are. And the light that you're shining right now is so vital. So I thank you so much, and I honor you. And thank you so much for breaking down what aloha means, because I'll be using that more often.
Good. I'm glad. Yeah, the goddess energy, that's something that I think we don't value that much. And she represents a lot for us. I think, Reverend Lisa, I think you know my background. I've been in this country for so many years. And I've been pretty much on my own. My family is still overseas. And when I was missing my family, when I was missing my mom a lot, I'll think about the Great Mother. She was a person who could heal me and feel my support and guide me where to go. But the consciousness of the Godmother came later on in life, because I always was going to the God, and not because the meaning of God is wrong, don't take me wrong. I still like Jesus in my own point of view, but I remember there were times that I was angry at myself because I could not understand why my life was going through this hardness. And I was being hard on myself. I remember there were times that being more male attributes were better. And I said, wow, being the more male attributes in me are better. And then I realized they're good, but that's not myself. That's not my chemistry. And when I started to tap more into the goddess energy, I found the love. I found the mother that I was missing. I was finding the support and the harmony and the peace. And also, she was teaching me patience. And that was it is a great key for all of us. And harmony. So the goddess energy and the wound energy are all intertwined. And, that is I think my goal and my path, to teach women about their wound and their sexuality, not to be afraid to talk about it. Not to be afraid, and also talk about money, because money is something that it carries so many emotions. But money is love, and love is God, and we are God because we are part of Him or her. So if we can start with that principle, it can make a big difference. I believe that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and even though you spoke of women and the womb that we
Mm-hmm.
possess, because it's a physical thing, there is the creative center, our sacral chakra, uh,
Mm-hmm.
the creative center of us all, both men and women.
Mm-hmm.
And as men honor that creativity within themselves, they have a similar experience as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling though, even though you were speaking to women,
Mm-hmm.
I feel as though this is for men as well.
Yes, it is. I think men need to be educated. And also men carry a womb as well, but
Mm.
it's in a different form.
Mm-hmm.
Womb also, the men also create and manifest, but that's when we have to study their consciousness and their mentality, and then we study our mentality and how we can both can work together, both carry great gift, and how we can unite it into one. That's how the symbol of the yin and the yang
Mm-hmm.
uh, involves,
Mm-hmm.
uniting the female and the male together.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, I think women are here. I read somewhere that we're here to educate men how to treat us.
Yes.
Yeah, it's how to treat us, and when you teach them how to treat us, then they become better husbands and better boyfriends and better partners, better
Mm-hmm.
brothers or sisters, and um, and they will respect us more and they'll value us more. But you have to teach them how to treat you. Hmm.
Wonderful.
Yes,
Wonderful.
yes. Hmm.
Okay, I'm looking at our time, and I would just like to ask if you would like to pray us out, Reverend Isabelle.
Okay, great.
Mhm.
All right, let's take a deep breath. And I like to play my drum because I start with a drum, and I like to end with a drum as well. God, Goddess, and all that is. Oh, Great Mother, you that hold the keys of evolution and spiritual transformation, teach us that money and sexuality is not separate from you, but it is you and we are you. Help us to understand that our pelvic bowl carries the consciousness of creativity and transformation. As we open our heart and our womb to the heavens and earth, we'll feel your blessings. And Great Mother, I pray to all the women who are in the other side of the call, but also the women all around the world, that every day they're trying to connect with themselves, that every day they try to understand who they are and where they come from. Bless them, Mother, and hold them in the light as you manifest your love to us and touch us every day. Bless Mother, bless the earth, bless our sky, bless our earth, bless our trees, bless our animals, bless the children, and bless each individual who is upon earth. Teach us, help us to understand that money is not separate from you, that sexuality is part of you and also part of us, for us, as well as money is abundant, that flows constantly through us. Help us to change the consciousness that we have behind money, behind the womb, and behind the words of sexuality. Protect us and guide us until we see and connect with one another again. Amen. And so it is.
And so it is.
Well, thank you, Lisa. This was thank you for giving me this great opportunity. I really, really appreciate it. And I send in many blessings and a lot of aloha to you and Siobhan and to all those who were able to connect. and as well those who are able to connect later. Who knows?
Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Reverend Isabel. You were
All right, my
magnificent.
dear.
You're magnificent. Namaste.
Namaste. Amen.
Mhm.
Until next time.
Yes.